Hey everybody, Wolfie here. Oh, I should step in front of the camera. Hi! I just wanted to briefly show this chaos before I clean it all up and prepare for Operation Ceph. Actually going to do this weekend, so it should be fun. These are the, let's move this thing. These are the Odroid HC2s that I wanted to use. If you notice, here, I'll just unplug this guy, doesn't matter. Let's see if I can get this aimed right. So these are the, that's the little tiny computer. This thing has 8 cores, 32-bit, unfortunately. And that was the wrinkle that I discovered, and I'll get to that. But yeah, it has 2 gigs of memory. It's 8 cores arranged in what they call big little. So 4 beefier cores and 4 less beefy cores, but they take less power. So in a embedded environment, your CPU usage or your electric usage is important. But yeah, so it's got an Ethernet port, a USB port. It eats power, of course, and then a micro SD card for its OS. I think, if I remember right, you can actually pop the hood on this thing. Well, of course you can take the thing off the mount, but I think you can put an eMMC flash on the bottom of it. I might be wrong on that, but it's got a 4-pin header on the board itself, which I forget what it's for. There's also a 2-pin header for a battery backup if you want to power the real-time clock. And then finally, the big win, or the other cool thing, down here at the bottom of this is a serial or SATA port, complete with power. So the idea was, well, and you'll notice the, let's grab this guy too. Notice the form factor here just happens to fit a hard drive perfectly. Plugs right in. There are, mounting screws here on the bottom. And so the idea is you can jam a 3.5-inch desktop sized disk into this thing. And they're stackable. Like so. Although this is really flaky. But yeah, they stack up. You can, they don't, I don't know that they attach to each other, apart from just this aluminum casing. So, not realistic for permanent installation, but whatever. Problem is, they are only 32-bit. And at some point, I guess Ceph kind of quietly dropped 32-bit support, or at least the mechanism I was using to set it up didn't support 32-bit, so whatever. They also discontinued this model, so I can't get any more of these because of they're blaming a parts shortage. I don't know how true that is. Realistically, they probably just want to sell the new hotness, which, let me go grab. So stand by. Right, and apologies for the echo. It's the first time I've done anything like this in my living room. So this is the replacement. These are called, this guy is called the Odroid HC2 Home Cloud 2. This is the Home Cloud 4. It is, well, it's not stackable, as you can see. It's got kind of a toaster design. The idea being, you can drop 2 hard drives into this thing. Yeah. So, right, you can drop 2 hard drives in it, and it'll talk to both, and it's got enough, it can handle enough power on the main board, the only board, to adequately power 2 3.5-inch discs. It'll, of course, also take 2.5s. But, the ports are pretty much the same. It's got an HDMI port, which is different from the HC2s. One USB, gigabit Ethernet, power. Takes a micro SD card again for OS, although it can boot off disks that you put on this. The important difference, oh, it's got a fan too, because I guess these can get a little toasty. The upside here is that it's a 64-bit system. 4 gigs of memory as well, which should actually make Ceph run a bit nicer on it, or a bit better, rather. I've been told that, by talking to the Ceph guys over their mailing list, they were very helpful, very friendly and polite. Gotta love that about a community. I described what I wanted to do, and they were kind of like, well, should work, good luck. I guess the memory was going to be a limiting factor on these guys, but I think 4 gigs is comfortable enough breathing room that Ceph should not have any major memory bottlenecks on these guys. Now I have 4 of these. With these guys, I was able to buy just a power adapter. Plugs, regular brick. And I bought a little fan out connector here that takes 1 power connector and splits it out to 4. Because these things just need, oh shit, well, I just killed them. Nah, they're fine. I just restarted them. They each take, I'm gonna say 12 volts, 2 amps. So I think that supply is actually 12 volt, 8 amps, or maybe it was 10. I think I overdid it a bit. But anyway, yeah, so that was off the shelf and it worked fine. These guys, because of, I guess, the fact that they have to power 2 disks, they want 15 volts at 4 amps. So that required some acquisitions. And that's the first thing we're going to put together when I get back, when I post the next part of this. This whole desk is going to get cleaned off, I promise. And these guys are going to go away. Although, actually, I might keep them on the desk just for grins, so that we can have some blinking lights during the assembly. But yes, my evil plan is going to unfold here. And so I've got a power supply thing. What is it? A Meanwell, I think is the brand name. And it's the kind where you have to screw on all the connectors on the back because there's no, like, you wire it all yourself. And this is the first time I've ever done something like that, so this is going to be funny. And naturally, I'm only going to test one of these on that power supply first instead of plugging all 4 in at once and accidentally setting the whole works on fire. But anyway, so that's my introduction. And I figured these guys deserved a bit of attention. They're good little machines. Unfortunately, I can't use them for Ceph, but they're not useless. They can compile software. I mean, they're fast enough machines. They just they don't work for the one thing I wanted to use them for, so I can repurpose them. I tested a whole bunch of image optimization programs on them yesterday, and the performance was actually not bad. So I might farm that out to these guys, set up some little clustering thing, but whatever. I'm going to clean this mess up and start recording the proper experiment. But I figured I'd get this recorded first and post it, and just to give people a little teaser of what's to come. Apologies for the mess, but it's Wilfy. There's always a mess. See you guys soon.